What's up, folks? Sokkehoved here, your friendly YouTuber. So, this time, like I talked about in my previous video, I wanted to record some of this stuff that I have learned to do. So, I'll just show that. I will not show it in normal speed. I'll speed this part up and I will put some music over. And then maybe afterwards I'll tell a little about what is what. I can't do it professionally, tell it, but hopefully I can tell it in a way that maybe you will kind of understand or something like that. As long as I understand it, I'm happy. But yeah, first of all, just to tell, I have prepared already little. I have opened up a CSS sheet, which will be basically my rule set that I'll be making for all the things that will be in the website and everything. And then I made an HTML index, which is how I got told it is that the HTML is basically the skeleton of the site. It just have all the raw things, and then you have the CSS, which is what you put on top of that skeleton so it actually looks like something. So what I'll just do, which I also have to actually be better to do, is that I am just pushing everything in a bit so that I can see what is under what and everything. And first thing I will do, so I'm using Dreamweaver from Adobe Creative Cloud, which you can get on their website and everything. I'll just drag the file over here, which makes it easier so I don't have to write everything. So it's the lazy man style. So that's how you do it. In other programs, I have no clue about how it's done. And I think all of it is exactly the same. So basically, it's the tag link wherein you're using a an href, which reference to the one that you have to get all the data from and everything, what type it has to be, and the real, I can't remember what that stands for, but basically it's a style sheet. So that's how it is. So I will get going here, and I hope you enjoy. Some of you out there that are a lot better than me, I hope that at least you get a small laugh out of it or something like that. But yeah, let's get started. I'm sorry I just made a cut here, but I just found out that my recording wasn't recording my sound from my actual computer and so on, so I just had to fix that. Even though, while I'm coding all of this, I am not going to record the sound because I'm listening to a lot of different things and so on. So therein I'm putting in this overlay music, but I'll get straight into it again. is basically what I can do. Everything else, well, I have to mess a lot more around with and look a lot more at web pages and everything. This is basically what I remember. I have been looking at some web pages for hints and so on with a few of the things, especially with the nav here. That means the navigation. There we go. Basically with the nav, wherein I had to find out how to what's it called, how to remove some kind of dot or something like that. I can also just try and show you. Now you're just going to see my messy no messy what's it called, desktop, and there didn't look like I could. There we go. So basically I have to get the right one. There we go. Basically this is just what I've been doing. It's not much. It takes quite a long time for me actually, because I'm really into this. But this is basically the front page, the index, all the text here. There we go. All the text is just from a website that can also generate I think it's Latin text or something like that, but doesn't make it into an actual text. Basically just words that is put up, but it looks like a text. I can put in a picture and make the text go around and so on. And probably also make some picture text below, but that's something I have to sit and mess with a lot. And then up here we have the header, basically the top. We have the navigation here that can get you from side to side. So the more sites I have, the more there will be up here. And then we have the footer, basically just made by me, and then my channel, and we can go to my channel. And then basically just a lot of pictures of the same size all beside each other. For me, from bit younger, bit old, bit older, that's one of the newest ones. Now you've seen me. And still with the same navigation and header and so on. So basically, if we go back there, there we go, then you can still see some of it. What I was messing around with a lot, wherein I definitely needed help from a website, was this one, the list style none. That's basically how it's going to list links. The standard, also what I'm doing here in the CSS, the slash star and the star slash, that's basically just mean this is a comment. It doesn't have any post, just a comment. That's also what I did up here. But basically without this type, you will get these small dots here, and it doesn't look nice. That's why I had to go in and see how it was done. So that's basically how you move them. What I also wanted to find is this one, overflow. That basically means anything that goes over, what can we say, the size of its height, for example, of 40 pixels, or basically outside its borders, the navigation's borders. This one here. That is this one here. Everything that's within this tag here, navigation open, navigation close, everything that's within that goes over, that kind of would go into any of the others, it would hide. That's also one that I was looking for. To be able to show that one, I need to change this one back to white, because I have made here the border right, 1 pixel thick, it's solid and black. And what annoyed me about that was this one here. This one, this little one down here that I also showed in the middle of the video. I don't even know that's, there we go, that's the 100%. But that basically just means that there we go. That now it size that small one so it looks nice, so you don't have all of that all over the place. And I just made this border here up in the top. That one I needed to make in the navigation itself. So navigation got a border in the top of 1 pixel wide solid black. That's this one up here. If I didn't have this border to the right of every of these things that are these ones in here, the A refers to a link, a link of the web, then it would basically look like this, just the names itself. So I just really like the borders to say here are the links. And now we are going to change this one back to this because I kind of just want to hold myself in the colors of black and purple, basically. What I've done up here is basically just set the background. Now I'm getting in the wrong place there. The background color of an image, which I just randomly found on internet. And then the H1, that's the header one, that's this one here. H1 basically just means a large title or something like that. I just wanted it with a margin of 0. That basically means that all around it there's no space, basically. I want the text to be center, I want the font size of 70, and then I made a padding that is, I think you can find it on you can actually find it on size and everything. We are just going to make inspect. So down here you have the text itself, there's a padding around it, then there's a border, and then there's a mark. So if we select the head up here, not head, sorry, that's me messing around now. Header, there we go. Basically this one has this size here, got a small padding around it, and I removed the margin. So if it had a margin, it would mess everything up, especially with it being in the middle, kind of. As you can see, it's not completely in the middle, but I would still say it looks nice. And then I made these three. Oh, first thing. This section here, that basically means everything that's in between here. I need to make the overflow also. That basically means that it just follows if something goes over, especially with the picture. That's why I had to make it. I know this is a long episode so far. Then it would look like this if I didn't make the overflow. So overflow, a good thing when you are doing something like that. I know there might be other ways to do it and so on. These three up here are specific things that I've named. So the first one up here, that's what it's called an ID. Usually it's only one place ever that you're going to use it. I use it 2 places, but it's within this one here, the div. Without the div, first of all, I wouldn't have the whole box here. I have everything in, then it would just fill everything out. And since I've given the ID wrapper here, then I have made some specifications that it's only going to be wide, it's automargin, that means that it's in the center of the website. It got a background color, and I had a height to it, first of all with the 800, which is not needed. I can just put that one in 800 again, just to show. So I just used that one as a reference to see where it was and everything. All this black down here, that's basically this div, the divider. So if I just remove it, then it will always go only until it's not there anymore. So basically until the lowest point. And I made a left footer and a right footer. That's just some rules for these classes. Actually, yeah, for these classes, which I made for this one here, made by Sokkehoved. That's this one down here. And then I also made it for the YouTube out here. But yeah, that's basically it. These means that it's a paragraph, basically text, img, image, section, navigation, links. The IL is kind of a list, a sorted list. This is kind of an unsorted list. H1, header. Further, that's the one down bottom. And that's basically it. There's the head that got all this one, index. Basically all the stuff that is not shown on the site itself. And the body itself, this one here, just shows that all of this in between, that's what's going to be shown on the site. So that's basically what I've learned so far. So this is what I can make in a fair amount of time, and then I can always sit and mess around a lot more with it. So yeah, I hope that I haven't been too boring. At least I find it funny, because I'm still learning and everything. But comment down below what you liked, what you didn't like, if you found it informative in any way, if you wanted to maybe start out with this. I will link down below at least with one website that is, I would say it's really, really good to go in and find reference and everything and help you a bit on the way. But always, as a CSS for all the rules that you want to. And index, that's always the start page, always called first page index. Link up here, like I told in the start, that is the one referring to you're going to get your rules from this sheet here. And then everything you have, put it into the same folder, or else it can't handle it, or at least not the Dreamweaver. I don't know about other programs, but I don't think so. Yeah, take care, have fun, and I'll see you in the next video.